Welcome to today's episode. Today I want to share with you what I believe is the most powerful sex organ. And it's not what you think. And it's not the brain. Do you want to experience the full potential of your sexual energy, deep intimacy in your relationship, and how it feels like to truly be in your power as a man? Can you hear the world's desperate calling for conscious, heart-centered men to rise to the occasion? Then welcome to the Heart of a King podcast, where you will find the clarity, guidance, and tools that will empower you to do what it truly takes to live a life of freedom, fulfillment, and bliss. You might have heard of how the brain is an important sex organ and things like that, but in my opinion, there's something much more important, and that is our heart. The heart is about 100,000 times stronger electrically and about 5,000 times stronger magnetically than the brain. And the heart does generate the largest electromagnetic field in the body. So why is that important when we're talking about sex? There's been a study called the electricity of touch, and they found when people touch or are in close proximity, the heart does exchange information via the electromagnetic field. And when we're speaking about sacred sexuality and tantra, which is what I'm about and this podcast is about as well, then sexuality is not just about friction, procreation and getting off, but much more about a soul-deep, intimate connection and a sensual spiritual experience where energy and yes, electromagnetic fields play a huge role. And of course I don't want to deny the actual importance of the actual sexual organs, but in authentic tantra and the sacred sexuality that I practice, the focus is not primarily just on the genitals, it is also primarily on the heart. In many tantric practices you will see how the heart and the genitals are the two most important poles on circulating energy between the two partners. The man in this case, of course, has the positive pole in the genitals and the woman the negative pole in her genitals. And on the heart, it's the opposite way. It's the woman has the positive pole in the heart and the man the negative pole there. So the positive pole is giving, the negative pole is receiving. And if the partners are in connection, it builds an energy circuit where the sexual energy can flow. What I found for myself and what very significant scriptures state as well is how important it is and even required, in my opinion, to really access higher sexual experiences for the woman to be authentically feeling love and safety, which builds the foundation for both partners' connection and the access to higher sexual experiences and sexual bliss. Which does not mean that I believe it's only possible to experience that in an intimate relationship, but I do believe that a sacred relationship is the most powerful foundation for this. And at the very least, the woman has to feel fully honored and safe. And the very most important reason I believe in this significance of the heart in sex, which does come from my own experience and observation, is that in the actual sexual experience, where both partners experience a soul-deep intimate connection and intense sexual bliss, to me it seems that the heart is the center of where this experience arises from. I can only speak from my experience as a man. When I'm fully in my heart and out of my head, when I'm basically present as my soul in my body with the mind out of the way and my center of my awareness in my heart moves my body. It's not me moving my body. It's not my mind initiating any actions or movement. It's actually my heart that is moving my body in the actual sexual experience. And I am there basically feeling, observing, allowing, and just enjoying the experience and just feeling love. And being fully present with myself and my partner. The sexual energy is flowing, ecstasy is building. If, of course, you and your partner have done what's needed to be done for that to be possible. And for that, definitely check out my podcast episode called The True Path to Limitless Sexual Bliss and Full Body Orgasms. And for the reason I just mentioned, I believe that the heart is a super important center in higher sexual experiences and for a sacred sexual connection. For a moment, I want to share something about the organ, the heart itself. Also there you can see how significant it is for the sexual experience and for the sexual energy flow. What many people don't know is that the heart actually also is a gland and does produce hormones. And what I found is that in Taoism and in Chinese medicine, the heart is seen as the ruler of all the organs. So if the heart is well, that also affects all the other organs and also all the other energy channels, the other meridians. Because every organ has their own meridian system, and a lot of them are actually quite important for the flow of sexual energy as well. And of course, a healthy heart is also better at pumping blood through the widened blood vessels during the sexual experience. And to finish this off, I want to leave you with something that you can put into practice right away with your partner. So for this exercise, I recommend you sit opposite of your partner, or you sit in Yabyum, even better, which is a position where the man sits cross-legged and the woman sits on top of him, wrapping her legs around him, both facing each other. You can combine this with gently gazing into each other's eyes, or you can close your eyes even for this exercise to focus more on the aspect of the heart itself. But I do find that the eye connection does bring more intimacy to it. And then you place your right hand on the heart of your partner, and she places her right hand on your heart. And then you take both your left hand and put it on top of your partner's hand. So you're sitting there having your right hand on your partner's heart and your left hand on top of her hand that's on your heart, and the same for her. You're both allowing your breath to flow deeply and slowly. And you can synchronize your breath or allow that to happen if that feels natural. If not, it's not necessary. And then you just focus your awareness, whilst you're also centered in your own heart, how it feels, first of all, to feel her physical heart. You might feel a subtle sensation of her heartbeat, or you might not, and that's okay. But you just first of all focus more on feeling her physical heart and her body. And once you get a sense of that, you can start feeling into the energetic connection in the heart. It can be like feeling the energy of her heart. It can be feeling the love between the two of you. It can be sensing the subtle energy flow between your heart and your partner's heart. And take your time with this. I recommend doing this in a sacred space where you set up the space. You might light some incense or some Palo Santo, play some nice music, light some candles. Just set up a beautiful space where you're not going to be interrupted and you're actually going to have some time to go into connecting with each other. So of course, leave the phones out of the room or turn them off, and then enjoy this experience that might bring a whole new depth and connection and intimacy between you and your partner. So that was it for today. Please feel free to share your experience from this exercise. You can send us an email or a message on Instagram. You'll find the links for that in the show notes. So that's it for today. Stay tuned for the next episode.